Hey, how's it going everyone? It is Online here. Welcome back to another video course as always. Today I wanted to talk about some PlayStation news because, well, we got 3 big pieces of information, at least in the past week or so. Today I figured I'd take that chance to kind of update you guys on this news and overall give you my opinions on it all, because I haven't really done a lot of these kind of videos on the channel as of lately. I mean, to be honest, I haven't done a lot of videos in general on the channel lately, which I'm hoping to change here coming soon. But yeah, with that being said, I guess we'll start with the later pieces of news and then get into the updates that kind of dropped today. So yeah, that being said, let's start with Ghost of Tsushima finally getting a release date. I think that's probably the most important. I know a lot of you guys are in particular looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima. To me, oddly, it's kind of the opposite actually. For some reason, I'm not really that excited for it, but I'm still obviously going to pick it up day one. I guess it's a good thing not to be excited for it, because obviously that means, I'm not going to be dying and waiting and stuff like that you always feel for the games you're really excited for. I'm still excited for Ghost of Tsushima. It's just nothing that, I guess maybe it's because of The Last of Us being a month prior and then also just everything else going on this year. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. A big Sucker Punch release. Nonetheless, finally we get a date for it. I'm looking forward to it a lot. They've been pretty silent ever since, what we saw with Infamous Second Son's DLC, I believe First Light, which was a really good DLC. Yeah, it's nice to see Sucker Punch back at it again. They were one of the first teams on PS4, we all remember Infamous Second Son being a few months after the PS4 reveal. To me, that was like one of my favorite games in the early years of the PS4, just because it was one of those first games that felt of quality PlayStation-wise. Yeah, it just gave you that feeling. So it's nice to see them back here. This new IP looks really good. It's obvious why it took so long. This is a big, ambitious new IP for them. June 26th, we also got some cool collector's editions and digital deluxe editions. I'll include some images here, just so you can see it here. Yeah, I'm not going to go over it just because, that's going to take this video into probably like 20 minutes plus if I go over all that. That being said, I will link the story trailer in the description below. Make sure to go check it out. The game looks really good, and it's only, 3.5 months away. We're getting pretty close. That same day, oddly enough, I think even an hour later, which is really bizarre, they announced that Last of Us is going to be getting an HBO show, which, to their credit, it wasn't PlayStation stealing the spotlight. I believe Hollywood Reporter got this exclusive. Yeah, pretty much Neil Druckmann's going to be involved, which is obviously good. The big thing about this is obviously that they're going to be teaming up with HBO, and talent, it's going to be with Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin, who is obviously, as I just said, made Chernobyl for HBO, a highly critically acclaimed TV show, limited run series. So yeah, obviously the talent is behind that. I think what they're doing is pretty smart. PlayStation Productions, they actually came up with an update today with Herman Holtz, even talking about their plans. But PlayStation's whole idea is to team up with people of talent, but also people that actually have a passion for these games. And luckily there are a few people in the industry that know what they're doing in terms of TVs and movies that can fill both criteria, which I think are the 2 biggest pieces of, obviously criteria you need to hit. You want the show to be made by people that know what they're doing, but you also want it to be made by people that know the content and the source material well. So yeah, of course we see Neil Druckmann, he's involved, and we also got Evan Wells as well involved. My personal opinion, I'm honestly pretty excited for this, not gonna lie, because a TV show would work way better with The Last of Us. I always found it bizarre whenever they talked about The Last of Us as a movie, because I could have sworn Neil Druckmann and the rest of the Naughty Dog crew in the past talked about how Last of Us really only worked, and because it was a game and it was like a 10 to 15 hour journey that you had with them, you weren't there for an hour and a half and just quickly pulled away. That would never work for The Last of Us. And yeah, a TV show obviously would fit around that same time frame. I imagine this first season would probably have 8 to 10 episodes maybe, at maximum. And I'm guessing the first season will tell about the original story that we saw with The Last of Us. And, my hope is that I really have, I could go into a whole video talking about my hopes for the show and all that, because I'm a big fan of the game, obviously. My hope is that they go through some original material as well, stuff that they haven't really, dived into. I'm talking about stuff maybe between the time jump that we're going to see between the original game and part 2. Maybe we see stuff over the years, especially since the actors aren't really going to age by 5 years. You could definitely pull that off, and that'll be cool. We'll see. Maybe they'll do season 2 and it'll cover part 2, but original material would always be cool as well. In terms of casting and stuff, I've always thought Hugh Jackman would be a perfect Joel, so I'm fine with that. People saying, what was the Beyond Good and Evil girl's name? I forgot. But they're saying they want her to play Ellie. Yeah, they look identical, but to be honest, she's in her 30s now, right? Ellen Page is in her 30s now? Let me look that up before I slander her age. Yeah, she's 33. I don't think that would work. You're going to need someone that's like 19, 20 that could play like a 16-year-old, or hell, even go a little bit younger than that. I mean, Ellie's 14. You're not going to be able to have Ellen Page play her. Looking pretty cool. I'm definitely looking forward to that. In the meantime, though, we still got part 2 here in like less than 2.5 months, which, man, I couldn't be more excited, and gonna do a lot of videos on that leading up to The Last of Us Part 2 launch. So yeah, be excited for that. I guess the big, final reveal today was Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC. What a shock. PlayStation must be dying, right? Man, I find that shit always so pathetic. Honestly, the people that fanboy, it really is annoying. I try not to really talk about it because honestly, you don't want to give them the attention, but it's all over Twitter, and it's honestly kind of just, I wouldn't say depresses me, but it just definitely, I don't know, I just don't really want to talk to people that have that kind of mindset at all. Yeah, let's talk about what I think about it. Horizon Zero Dawn, obviously this isn't the first time it was rumored for PC. I think this rumor originally came like in January. Jason Schreier reported on it. Yeah, a lot of people thought it was BS. I personally thought it was going to be real just because, Jason Schreier does have that credibility to him. And I could totally see it coming, especially with, Horizon Zero Dawn 2. That'd be a smart move from Sony. I have like a two-way opinion on this. First of all, as like a consumer, I think this is a great idea. Having more games available for everyone, that's always a good thing. There are limits to that. Obviously we've seen what Xbox has done lately. And that being said, Xbox totally, they have a different goal than Sony right now. It seems like they're very much more service and kind of, I guess, play anywhere, obviously, is their famous motto. A lot of people like to give them shit for that, but they embrace it. That's what their goal for. That's what Microsoft's trying to push right now. I mean, hell, look at xCloud as well. Like, they're clearly trying to take that space. Sony, today to damage control, obviously, all that. They came out with an interview talking about how hardware exclusivity is obviously important to them. So, they know they're not stupid. They're not going to release all their, exclusives on PC. I think mainly this move was done because of 2 reasons, possibly. The one reason for me is maybe they want to sell people on a potential sequel. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Horizon Zero Dawn 2 probably coming out next year, early. That's been my prediction for a while now. And 2, I think this might be even the more likely one that a lot of people aren't really talking about. Death Stranding is also coming to PC, and what do both games have in common? The fact that they're both on the Decima engine. Maybe it's just the simple fact that the Decima engine can be easily ported over. I mean, there's probably a reason why Kojima picked the Decima engine as well to develop his, first game after Konami's whole debacle with. So yeah, it might just be as simple as that. When I'm looking at the PlayStation library and what I could see coming next, Dreams is the big one that I want to see. Just because of that game's, community nature. Like, I think of Steam immediately, and I'm just like, yo, you're like on a gold mine right now. If you enable use of like keyboard and mouse, like Dreams can go really far. I mean, it's already going far, but can you imagine what people will do if it's on Steam? Like, Sony, open your eyes on that one, please. Hopefully Dreams gets, obviously, a PC port. That's what I want to see next. Personally, I'd love to see Bloodborne come over to PC, just because I want to play that in 60 FPS, and I think that's a great game, and I know that will sell well, so that would make financially a lot of sense for Sony. The game's already sold well on your PS4 platform, and that's plus, 2 million. You already put it out for PS Plus. Obviously, you're not really selling many copies of that, so why don't you make more copies and get a lot of people to double dip out there on Bloodborne? So that'd be a smart next one. Other than that, I don't think you're going to see Uncharted 4 and God of War, all the big kind of icons for PlayStation. I mean, you could say that Aloy was clearly one for, PlayStation right now, so I guess you have a good point there. But yeah, honestly, it's not going to be a lot of games. I could see maybe Dreams and maybe, I don't even know, honestly. I hope some of their VR games come over to PC. That being said, I feel like that would be a smart choice, get Astro Boy, all that, but that's another conversation for another time. That I think VR games should be available for as many platforms as they can be, considering how limited it is right now in terms of the market and the games out there that have that kind of big of a budget. So yeah, hopefully we'll see something like that. That'd be cool. But yeah, guess that's been all the news stories today. Yeah, quite a big news for PlayStation. If you're thinking about, when to expect the PS5 reveal, I know that's probably a big question a lot of people have. To me, I'm not really even thinking about it just because I'm not expecting it with everything going on with the world and every kind of event being canceled. I mean, look at the fucking E3 might be canceled, dude. I don't know what PlayStation will do. I always ruled out a State of Play being a possible reveal event, but now I think that might be likely. I still think they'll probably wait to do their full event until, maybe the coronavirus dies. But, I mean, if you're Sony right now, you got to be looking at this virus and thinking about a plan B. So, honestly, it might happen. It might just be a state of play. For now, don't worry about it too much. I mean, we still got until November. If anything, it's probably better to get the reveal later and then have a shorter time frame, you know? I mean, a lot of people want to be able to plan and prepare, but to me, I'm going to buy it anyway, like next generation console. So, obviously, when I see them, I'm going to get really excited for it. So, I'd rather not really think about it right now and then get excited for a shorter wait time. So, yeah, I guess with that being said, if this is the first video of mine you're seeing, subscribe for more PlayStation 5 videos, and especially Last of Us 2 coming into May 29th, man. I think it's May 29th, maybe May 28th, one of those days. Last of Us Part 2. And yeah, with that being said, follow me on Twitch. I've been playing through the Half-Life games in preparation for Half-Life Alyx. Just finished Half-Life 2 Episode 2, and I'm all good to go for Half-Life Alyx. I will be streaming Half-Life Alyx in about 2 weeks, because that's when the game comes out on the 23rd. I'll be streaming it on the 23rd, so if you care about that. And also in general, I'm streaming a little bit more lately, so yeah, plug there, I guess. If you don't do that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Either way, have a good rest of your day, and take care.